You never actually know what is positive or what's negative in your life until the end. And since you're watching this, that means you're still alive and it's not the end yet. The main reason why I'm saying this is because you never have to get too emotionally low or depressed, down, frustrated about where you are in life because it's not the end. You don't actually know how it's going to turn out. And at the same time, conversely, you don't ever have to get too amped up or too overly excited because you don't know in the moment what is positive or negative. So I'm going to tell a story from my own personal life. I'm going to tell two stories from my personal life. And both of these I think I've mentioned before on the channel. The first one, and this is where we're talking about you don't know what's positive or negative. Something that seems like it could be a really shitty situation. You're angry about it. You allow yourself to feel resentment, bitterness, things like that. Could turn out 6 months or a year later or less than that, 2 weeks later, to be one of the best things that ever happened to you. The first example from my life is that I previously had a job. I had this job and I really liked this job. I liked my coworkers. I liked the other people in the organization. I liked the work that we did. I liked my boss, if I didn't say that. And so I'm working my ass off because I like the work. It just goes with my natural skills and talents. And I wanted to move up in this company. And so it was time for my annual review. And I had already gotten some raises throughout my first year. But on my 12-month annual review, I did not get a raise. And I was livid. There was smoke coming out of my ears like a cartoon character. My supervisor told me, hey, you know what? Well, we already gave you a couple of raises this year. And I was like, well, yeah, because I worked for those two. So where's my next one? I just thought this. I didn't say it. And then he said, well, we need you to, complete this. He gave me a kind of like a little list of tasks that he needed me to do to get my next raise. And I was hot because I took that job. Number one, I took that job at lower than probably I would have taken it for whatever reasons. There's some other reasons in the background. So I already started kind of lower than I wanted to start. And then secondly, as I said, I was doing a great job at this company. I was going above and beyond. I had everybody patting me on the back. I had so many people telling me, hey, we love working with you. You're great. You're amazing. You're the best person that's been in this role. They were bringing like higher ranking people in the company to meet me, especially like, oh, we have you like picked out for leadership. We see you a bright future with the company. And that's all well and good. Everybody likes a good pat on the head, but like obviously I work to make money. So I was hot about this and came right home from that meeting with my manager where I didn't get that raise. And I started applying for jobs. And that lit a fire underneath me because honestly, if I had gotten just a small raise, like a 3 or 4% raise, I would have been happy with that because I liked the job. All I wanted was a little, throw me a bone, right? Throw me a crumb. But because I didn't get that crumb, it lit a fire underneath me. And if you've been watching the channel, you know that a few months ago, I got another job, a better position. It's actually pretty much the same job, but the company is better and it pays significantly more. So actually just by not getting that raise, by not getting that small 3, 4, 5% raise that I would have been overjoyed with 5%. I would have been like, yeah, I'm working my ass off. Like I'm moving up in the company. Just get a feeling of like, yeah, I'm doing really well. Because I didn't get that small raise, it lit a fire underneath me to go interview after interview, improve my resume, just try to do better in when I was on the phone and interviewing with these people, all this stuff. And I eventually got offered a 40% raise, which is more than that, but just per hour is 40%. And it kind of changed my life because it bumped me into a place where I'm way more financially comfortable. So that's number one. You don't actually know. So what if I had gotten angry, and I was angry with my boss, with the organization, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me because I still, with that small raise I would have gotten at my last job, I still would have been struggling just to make ends meet paycheck to paycheck instead of getting a better job to where now I feel very comfortable, right? So that's number one. The number two thing that I want to tell you that was a bad situation that ended up, it took me about 8 months, basically from the time that I had that meeting with my former manager to the time that I got a much better paying job, way better paying job. And there's all kind of external perks to the job too. It's just like, look, I came up hard based off of not getting the small raise that I wanted. The second thing that happened is that this is more of a personal thing in my romantic life is that I have made several videos on the channel about getting like ghosted and rejected by somebody that I really liked. And this was like summer last year. So I go on a few dates with this woman. I think she was great. And really, I did a couple of things wrong. Number one, I over pursued. Number two, I was just kind of giving her a little bit too much attention, which is just not good. Even if you like the woman and she likes you back, if you call or text too much, in my experience, a lot of people have talked about this. Coach Corey Wayne talks about this. Other people that do dating content talk about this, is that you cannot overinvest in a woman more than she invests in you. You'll just turn her off. It's just how it works. Like, nobody created women. We're just reporting the facts on the situation. So anyway, I did a couple of things wrong, and there were some other things going on in the background in her life as well. So we ended up kind of like not talking. Basically, she ghosted me, and I was sick. I made several videos on the channel about like how distraught I was over it, mostly because I thought, shit, like I go on dates with people that I think, oh yeah, she's cool, whatever, she's mid, this and that, and I do fine, and then I meet somebody that I like a lot, and then I just screw it up immediately because I just I wasn't really used to being around someone that I was that attracted to. Long story short, using the techniques, and I made a video about this. It's called How to Get Someone Back When They Ghost You. I made 2 videos about this. The first one I made after I got ghosted. Then I did the techniques in that video, and then she came back, and then I made another video about it. Long story short, that woman came back into my life doing the techniques that I talked about in that video, so go watch it. If there's somebody that ghosted you and you want to try to get them to come back to your life. She came back around, and we have been seeing each other for a few months now. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with this situation. The point really is that I was able to prove to myself that my techniques work, and that by staying centered and kind of bringing my energy and my attention back into myself. That's her texting me right now. Bringing my energy and my attention back into myself, that is how you attract somebody back to your life. Anyway, what I'm saying is, because that woman ended up kind of like blowing me off those months ago, and look, we don't have to get into it. She spun the block on me. I tease her about it all the time. But because she did that, I had an opportunity to work on myself, and I improved myself. I improved my own game, if you want to call it, in relationships with women. And when she came back, she found a much better version of me than I was at the time. And she did me a favor. Honestly, even though I was so hurt, I was so sick, she did me a favor by doing that, because I had a lot of time to sit and look at myself. And I did I was doing everything. I was running, I was lifting weights, I was meditating, I was reading books about dating, about relationships, about attachment theory, about abandonment. I was like discovering that I feel like I have abandonment issues, thinking about that. Really, she did me the best favor by blowing me off and ghosting me. And whether she had come back or not, I was going to attract somebody that I was really interested in into my life based on that experience that I went through. So it just so happened that she came back, and that's great. We're having a great time together. Even if she hadn't, I might have got somebody better. If that woman hadn't had come back into my life, I would be dating somebody maybe even better right now, just because of the work that I put into myself. And that is the second example of what I'm saying. So if you get ghosted, blown off, rejected, you get passed over for a promotion at work, or maybe you find out your best friend, you think is your best friend, has been talking about you behind your back. Don't get too depressed and down about it. I mean, obviously, if you feel sad about it, you're like, yeah, I feel sad, this sucks. Maybe let yourself feel that for a couple of days. 2-3 days is enough. If you get ghosted and played or whatever like that, try to kind of let yourself, hey, this is my second, third day, maybe a week, depending on what had happened. And then start taking action. What is the next thing to do to get better, right? So, for example, like I'm saying with my job, they didn't want to give me the raise that I wanted. Fine. That's not the only company on the planet. I've worked for myself before as well. So I go pounding the pavement, and I found a much better job, way better job. I don't even want to tell y'all how much more money that I'm making. It's a lot, because I didn't get that small ass raise, but I did let it piss me off. Sometimes it's good to get angry. And I'm like one of the most, I try to be chill and happy-go-lucky and upbeat. People that know me know that in general, not all the time, in general, I have a positive attitude. I try to. But sometimes it's good to get angry, because you let that anger and that energy kind of fuel you. Like throwing wood onto a fire, you get it real hot, get it real big, and it fuels you to the next thing. Like I'm saying, by not getting a raise, I went and got a much better job. I'm much happier. Not only do I make more money, I work less. There's an ambulance passing by. I work less, so I'm making more money and working less. Crazy. Not only did this woman leaving make me better, when she came back, she found a better version of me. And if she hadn't come back, I was going to find a better version of her. God bless her. She's great, by the way. I'm just saying. I have full confidence in the fact that I would be dating somebody maybe I'm even more attracted to if I wasn't seeing her, just because of the work that I did. So I know it kind of sounds like I'm sitting here bragging. I don't want to sound like that. I didn't make this video to come on here and talk about myself, but I did want to inspire y'all by telling you, like, you never actually know if something is positive or negative to the end of it. Here's the thing. This is not the end of the story. This job that I have, I'm pretty excited about the job. I like it. I'm making more money. I feel good about that. That might not be 6 months from now. Who knows what might happen? Something very negative or very positive could possibly happen to me at this job that wouldn't have happened if I stayed at the other place or took another job. It's not the end of the chapter. You never know, right? Even with this woman that I'm seeing, and she's great. She's very pretty. She's nice. She's loving. She's affectionate. We get along great together. We have tons of stuff in common. But who knows? I mean, if I make another follow-up video to this in 2 months, in 2 weeks, who knows? She might play me. She might cheat on me. She might run off to Mexico with some freaking landscaper. You never know. It's going well now with my job, with this woman, whatever. But until the end, which is when you're not here anymore, you never actually know what's positive or negative. So look, enjoy it while it lasts. Have a good time right now. You know, I'm chilling. I'm doing good. Am I doing well in my career? Doing well in my relationship? That's great. If tables turn, and they will. Here's the thing. They definitely will. When the tables turn, I want to make sure I'm just like, look, it is what it is. Charge it to the game, and then let that, get me motivated to the next thing. If this woman doesn't work out with this girl, all right, well, boom. I know what I need to do. I'll improve myself even better, even more, and I'll, go on to the next woman, the next relationship, the next great love of my life. The next relationship, the next great love of my life. The job, if the job doesn't work out, then I'll be even more motivated to go to the next thing. It's never the end. And that's a good thing and can be a drawback as well. But you never know what's positive or negative. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody that has subscribed recently. I appreciate all the likes that y'all put. Even if it's just a couple of likes, when y'all hit the like button, I think, okay, cool. That resonated with somebody. That message actually helped somebody out that day. So it means a lot to me when y'all do that. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.